Officially the first video of my Life Continues Everyday podcast. I am Amanda Elo. Should I take a break first or should we just go on? I'm looking at two cameras at the same time, so pardon me if I'm not looking at you eyeball to eyeball. I'll be back very soon.
My life
My life
will continue every day.
My life continues every day.
Well, my life continues every day.
We move.
My life continues every day with Amanda Elo.
So I'm excited doing this. I have delayed this process. I have delayed this process for the longest of times. I have been asking myself, when will you do this? Are you sure this is the right time to do this? Are you sure people would understand this when you start? Because starting small sometimes could be a problem because there are a lot of persons on YouTube. There are a lot of persons on YouTube who want to showcase their talent, and you're not sure that you starting small is a wise idea. And I kept trying to be woke with myself, and look at me, it's been how many months? Welcome to the first episode of My Life Continues Everyday video podcast. You know how you feel something is missing in your life? That is, over time, you think you're not doing what you should be doing. You're not where you should be. Does it happen to you? It's been happening to me. I feel like I'm not fulfilling yet my God-given purpose, which unfortunately I do not know yet. I feel like when I get there, I'll feel peace. So this is me saying sorry to the persons who in the last few months have been trying hard to get me into some sort of program, some sort of system, because they think from what they see that my potential will fall into place better here. In fact, will be sharpened here better if I followed this, pattern that they have set out for me or they want me to follow. It's been amazing. In fact, those patterns, those systems, those programs were why I realized over time that, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to make out something of my own volition, right? And I'm saying sorry to them because it might seem a bit disrespectful to some of them who got me into some of this program, some of them who thought that I would follow them patiently. But then I never felt at peace. This is my story, remember? And that's what I do in this podcast. Tell my story, tell you what's going on, especially in regards to, my life fulfillment, achievement, employment, job. Oh, by the way, I don't have a job anymore. Yeah, should let you know this. It's clear now. Yeah, I'm not working for anybody. And that's why I'm talking about what's happening right now. For the past few months, I've been working with some people on the ground, doing this, doing that. Some people believing that this is where I should be. It would help me. This is where it would give me the kind of credence I'm looking for. I want to study outside Nigeria, if possible, and these people tell me, if you follow this pattern, you are likely to get abroad, to get to the abroad. If you follow this pattern, you're likely to get more recognition. Or if you follow this pattern, you're likely to bloom in Nigeria. True. I feel this podcast is a gift. And that's the thing. I have not given this podcast the time that it requires. Unfortunately, if I give it all the time that I should give it, I'll go hungry, which I think I finally decided to do. God, I'm saying so many things at the same time. I'm trying to explain what's going on in my life, right? I've decided to take up this podcast very seriously, but I also know that I'm going to be hungry for the first few months because nothing is happening right now. I do not have partners, I do not have sponsors, there's nothing coming up on this. Just the little side jobs I engage in might give me the food, my daily bread, and also help me with some of the responsibilities that await me. But this podcast at the moment is not giving anything. Yet I do not feel peace when I'm not doing anything apart from this podcast, apart from my film, apart from acting, apart from writing. Not for somebody, but for a project I want to undertake. I don't know if that's selfishness or laziness, but I just don't feel that energy when I'm not doing this my life continues every day. When I'm not, in a film-related project, when I'm not, doing one of my mock trailers, if you conversate with my works on my social media page. I'm Charlie Mandy, by the way, on Facebook and Instagram, CharleyMandy, Charlie Mandy, or Amanda Elo, as a matter of fact. You can find me with any of them on social media. I do a mock movie trailer. I just, randomly think of a script in my head and then pick out something that I think would serve as a trailer if it ever existed as a movie. Check it out. You may want to check it out to see. If I'm not doing things like this, I don't feel happy, at peace. Sometimes I feel like I'm Onoka in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. That person who's so busy trying to, that performer who is just going about having fun and at the end of the day dies and leaves nothing. It gets me scared too. And you see, because of that pressure, I want to be in some place. I want to do tech, the technical tech, the coding, the analysis. What do you call it again? Data analysis, being a data analyst, being a coder, I want to do it because I think that's where money comes from. Those are the voices of my neighbors. I got into a new house, by the way. A small cubicle I'm managing thanks to good people around me. By the way, I will never stop saying thank you to them. And yes, the Samsung phone I'm using and the camera are not mine. I said that. I'm basically living on kindness and borrowed time too, per se, if I can put it like that, just to make sure that this works. So back to what I was saying, my thoughts are everywhere. I need to put it together. I don't feel at peace when I'm not doing this. I can only hope that at the end of the day I don't die of hunger, that I don't die a useless person like Onoka. Onoka was not useless anyways, they just called him lazy. He loved enjoyment, Owambe. I'm not exactly the Owambe person, but I think this is it. If it's not the media, the films and arts and literature, to an extent, I'm not really interested. And then mental health, because that's what My Life Continues Every Day podcast is about. Remember, people share their stories. Of course, from now on, in subsequent ones, yes, the second episode, of course, will come with somebody's story. But because I don't think people are brave yet, enough to tell their stories on camera, I'm going to continue playing the audio. And you can also listen to this podcast via audio, the audio platform, Spotify, Google Podcast, Buzzsprout, and Spotify for podcasters, formerly known as Anchor FM. Yes, you can listen to it there. Then now, YouTube, yes. So, share your stories. I don't think people are ready yet to share their stories because some of the stories that are told are very, very delicate ones. And, I don't let people say their names on my podcast. I'm the only person allowed to say my name and say my story. So the anonymity might not be achieved if the person comes. However, if you're ready to tell your story on camera, I'm here for you. Okay? So, what led me to telling this story? That's the thing. There's so much I want to say at the same time. So I've decided to do my podcast. I've decided to carry out some of my film projects whenever I can, however I can. If I get sponsors, thank God. Partners, great. Collaborators, woo. But at the moment, I just know that this is it. Turn down some job offers because it's not just working for me. I feel I may go hungry, really hungry, because the country as it is now, you may have to be doing even the things you don't have passion for to survive. I am trying to, but it's not working. Is it wrong? Is it laziness? Am I being Onoka? Or not? You want to read that book to understand who Onoka is, the illusion I've been making. That's it. This podcast. And I hope this podcast saves lives. And I hope this podcast saves lives. I hope it saves my life too. I want to sound very chitty-chatty, but this is serious business because I'm the one who will be editing this video. I'm the one who's going to be running all the runarounds. I don't have anybody doing it for me yet. So I'm doing this whole thing solo. You see what I'm talking about? So it's overwhelming, and that's why I didn't want to start before. But now I think I have to And I'm hoping I get sponsors, and I'm hoping I get people who are willing to work with me on this podcast. And I'm hoping I also get you to share your story on my podcast, what I do on this podcast. For those of you who have not listened to the audio, the season 1, the season 2, this is supposed to be season 3. Let's say season 3, yeah. And also the first visual episode of My Life Continues Every Day. What we do is I tell my story. Started from when I moved to Lagos in search of a job in greener pastures. Something led me from Onitsha to Lagos. And I started this podcast. I tell my story. I keep you abreast my employment journey or my career journey, per se, my life journey, my purpose on earth, right? If it involves relationship, okay, but I don't tell all the small talks of relationships and things that do not concern my career a lot of times. So just know that. Concerning business deals, the disappointments I've faced, which will be coming up, of course, as time goes on, I'll bring it to you. Then I also let people tell their stories. Now you have the right to tell any kind of story, but the point is, at the end of the day, let people have hope. End it with, my life continues every day. Let somebody listen to your story and say, okay, wow, someone is going through this. Okay, fine. And they're holding on. Okay, then I gotta hold on. That's it. Giving hope to people, giving hope to myself, giving hope to you, giving hope to them. That's what we do here. You're not alone. It does not have to be a sad story. I've had someone who's been telling her story constantly. She's been telling the story, keeping us abreast the whole matter. You know, from the time when she lost her job, to the time when she got her own business, to the time when she wanted to move abroad, to her relationship stories. Some she told me not to even broadcast at some point. And then she's telling, it's like that. That's how it is. That's how mine is. It's a follow-up. So you know that somebody is going through this in their life and you don't have to give up. And that thing you think you're passing through alone, someone else is passing through it. It's just what happens in the world. And it should give you a sense of strength. It should give you strength, not even a sense of it. Strength to hold on, to not take your life. Because really if you look into it, thank God we've got Jesus Christ. But honestly, there is so much to give up on. There's so much that would make you want to give up. Should we talk about relationships we've lost? Because the country, I'm in Nigeria, by the way, the country is not good, and so these people have to leave, and you have to, battle the whole thing. Should we talk about the people we're with, but we cannot be where we want to be because we don't have enough? Should we talk about persons who left us, who we left, There's so much. So feel free to tell your story on this podcast. Let's share stories. Let's give ourselves hope, and let's have fun, dear. Funny stories are allowed. Heartwarming stories are allowed. Sad ones are allowed. You can vent. Some people make this their venting platform. They just pour it all out because nobody knows who they are. They just pour it all out. I let you do it. But make sure you're not vulgar. Make sure you're not killing someone else's spirit. And keep the positive vibe on. Bring your negative vibe and tell yourself in the process that you want to let go of it. You just point out whatever it is that is instigating that negative vibe per se, and you want to get better, you want to get replenished. That's what we do here. And by God, I hope we give ourselves the succor we need, because I think it is the Holy Spirit, it is only God that has that superpower of absorbing the negative energy and giving the positive. Not even me can give that to you, but we do what we can, right? We do what we can. I'm living my life every day, hoping that I touch somebody, that I touch people, hoping that I'm touching people positively. And when I'm not doing it, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and that's why I've not been able to go on with some of the job offers that I got. Some, not much, as a matter of fact, but they were wonderful ones. And I want to say thank you to those who gave it to me. Maybe on another episode, I'll talk about the pains I've passed through, the excruciating months in the past. But for now, let's start on a very, very meaty level and a positive level. How many minutes? 14 minutes? And I'm supposed to edit this. Okay, great. But just know that until your watch is ended, don't take your life yourself. Don't hurt yourself. It will get better. I'm telling you because I'm in it. And I'm going through it. I'm not going to say I've gone through it. I am in it. It gets better. I stumbled on a particular pastor's reel. Ifanya at Defarasing, I think that's her name. Yes, she was saying something about you getting to a point with God. You know that thing he did with Abraham, where he says, stand up and move to a land I prepared for you. And the Israelites, you must get frustrated on the way, especially when you move in holy obedience. You will get frustrated on the way. You have no idea. It's frustrating. I feel like I should be somewhere, but I'm not there. Yet I was told to move where I'm going to, and nothing is happening. And it's really sad. I have to be something that I don't want to be, just to survive. Not really a negative thing. I feel like I should be more than this. But that's the thing. So this pastor said, until you get to the point where you say, God, I know they do again. God, I'm tired of this. You're not really following it. Especially when you have a mission, a very great mission. You have to be frustrated. Then you get to a point where you're done. You know you're done. You've exhausted all the resources that you as a person have, or you think you have. Then you let God do his thing. That's where I am. And honestly, I don't know how it's been happening, but I've been surviving. I don't know how it's been happening, but I've been surviving. If I told you what's been happening this past few months, you'd marvel. But I've survived. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I'm here because I keep telling God, if you leave me, I will fall. I will die. I will fall. I will die. Yes, that. Because it's too much. It is too much. It's too much. I don't know how this is happening for just one person. But that's it. I'm telling you that you are not the only person in it. You're not the only person in it. You get fine, you get better. And actually, I'm getting better. There are other good things happening too. I will share them when it's time. I'm not at liberty to tell them yet. So, I am not at liberty to tell them yet too. Just wait for it. It will unfold as this, series comes up, as this podcast unfolds. It will come up as this podcast unfolds. I'll stop here and wait for next week. I'll be coming in with someone's story. You'd be amazed at things happening. If you've got a story to share, feel free to drop it at my email at amandaelo@gmail.com. Send a voice note, per se, story, record offline, and then send to me via email. You shouldn't exceed, say, 7 minutes. That way you can send via email. Otherwise, if it becomes too much, it becomes too large a file, you cannot send it. You can send in bits. There could be part 1, part 2, part 3. It's fine. Just send your stories and let me know. I'm Charlie Mandy on Facebook and Instagram. You can also check out Amanda Elo. You would find me. So you can tell me if probably you want to have another conversation. And feel free to reach out for partnership or sponsorship, because we're going to need the money. But I don't want to make it about the money. The money is important, but I don't want to make it about money. I want to make it about us being healthy and fine. Alright? And our mental health being intact, and sharing stories and giving each other hope. Sometimes you don't even set out to give hope, set out to just vent, but you're giving someone hope. That's it. Don't hold it in. Don't kill yourself. God is in control. Until my watch is ended, my life continues every day. Say that to yourself kindly. Till we meet again. God bless you, amazing. Just protect you. I'm Amanda Elo, and my life.
Baba, you dey make my head swell. From Africa to Europe and all over Asia. You don't carry me from Onitsha down to Malaysia. You keep on blessing me from January to December.